Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Let's get into these crafts. First craft we're going to go ahead and make is a Halloween wreath. So you'll need one of these wire wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some zip ties. You're also going to need 2 of each color mesh. So I have black, orange, and purple. They had like a green, but it wasn't like the color green that I wanted. So these were the 3 colors I went with. And then what we're going to do is you want to kind of weave your mesh in and out of the wreath, or the wreath form. So first you want to go ahead and take a zip tie, gather all of your colors. I combine them all together. It saves a heck of a lot of time. So this is just what I do. So go ahead and gather them all together, and then I attach them with a zip tie. And then I make a bundle and I push it up through the middle. So I go middle, inner, outer, middle, inner, outer when I am putting those bunches up through the wreath form. You can do it opposite, just as long as you start in the middle, only because that is where you're attaching your first initial section, I guess. So you want to just weave it between middle, outer, inner, or middle, inner, out, whichever way you want to do that. So this way here at the bottom, it's going to weave it back and forth so that you can't like easily pull them out. And then you just want to make your loops as big as you want them to be. Really, it's up to you on how fluffy you want this to actually turn out. And then for each section of the wreath form, I do between 6 and 7 loops. Oops. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. So 6 or 7 loops in between each section, and 3 of these rolls all together do half of the wreath, which is why I said you're going to need 2 of each color, because with doing each of these sections and rotating those sections within the wreath, that's how much I use. Of course, my wreath is actually really full. I mean, you could probably spread this out and maybe make it with just 3 of them, but to be on the safe side, just get yourself 2 of each color. And once you're done putting it all up through and you're at the end, you're just going to go ahead and bunch it all together and use another zip tie just to hold them all together and finish up that section. Here's just a quick view of what the bottom of the wreath looks like. You can see that it like zigzags in between the middle and then the outer and inner sections. And then again, starting with the new section, I'm taking another one of my zip ties, all 3 of my colors, and moving along. To fluff this up, all I'm going to do is take the colors and I'm going to separate them. So being very gently, because with any kind of this kind of mesh, it does kind of fray very easily. So I just go ahead and separate all 3 colors, and I rotate what colors I want, like on the outer section, the middle, and then the inner section. So this way here, it doesn't all just go orange, purple, black, or whatever colors. So you want to make sure that you are rotating those colors when you're pulling them all apart. And this is what really gives that wreath that big, full fluffiness that you're going to look for, so that you can't see the wreath form. I mean, even after you fluff it, if that's all that you want to do to it, great. But of course, with me, we are going to put some additional embellishments on this sucker. Once you have everything fluffed as much as you'd like it to be, then that's when you want to go ahead and move on to any embellishments you want to add to your wreath. So for me, I wanted to do witch themed. I love witches. So I got these wonderful witch hats from the Dollar Tree. I also got these cute little like witch brooms from the Dollar Tree as well. And then I'm using some black, I call them pipe cleaners. I don't call them, I forget what the other name is, but I've always called them pipe cleaners. So I'm using some black pipe cleaners. And then I also have this witch's hat ribbon from the Dollar Tree as well. And then also they had, oh yeah, don't forget your glue gun. And then they also had this lovely Wicked sign, which I had already painted and distressed because I knew I was going to do this project. And I didn't include that because I just painted wood. I didn't distress it or anything. So, but for this, before I do anything, as you can see here, I'm placing all of my items out to see where I'm going to want them on this wreath, and how I'm going to make it work with the items that I have. Okay, so at first here, I thought I was going to go ahead and just kind of sit the witches' hats like randomly within the mesh. However, with them being the green, the orange, and the purple, they got lost. So I decided to actually put the witch's hat on the bottom of the broomsticks. And also on these broomsticks, they had these weird, I don't know, bows. I went ahead and just made some quick little twine bows and restuck those on. But I hot glued the witch's hat to the top of the broomstick, and that actually made them pop off of my wreath a lot more. So I love that. The only one I didn't put on the broomstick was the green one, only because the wreath is mainly, as you can see, orange, purple, and black. So I figured the green hat definitely popped on its own. For securing my wooden sign, I took the holes that were existing in the wood, and I put a pipe cleaner down through that hole and then stuck it down through my mesh to secure it to the wreath form itself. So that's going to be front, center in all of its glory. And then the witch's brooms, I just have framing out the bottom. And then the green witch's hat, which you'll see here in a moment, I just have stuck in between the witch's brooms. And then I make a nice big bow for the top of this. So let me know what you guys think of this project. Would you have done something different? They had a whole bunch of options as far as like wooden Halloween signs this year, so I was really intrigued with doing different things with them. But I know this is what I chose to do. And if you guys have any other like suggestions too with like mesh and maybe easier ways than the way I did it, leave that in the comments down below too. Or if you have a video, please go ahead and like tell me where to go to find you, and I will definitely look up your page and check out the video and follow you back as well. So for my bow, I just do a quick, easy bow. I just measured it with however big I wanted it to be with on my wreath, and I use the entire spool of ribbon, and I just kind of flip it over and under, and then in the center of the bow, I'm going to cut in towards the middle, and then we're going to take one of those pipe cleaners again, and that's going to be my thing to secure it to the wreath form. But with cutting this, it makes the bow not so like fat. It helps it become a little bit smaller. And then also I can go ahead and take those pieces of ribbon and really like pull them away from each other and twist them and move them around so that it doesn't just look like a left right side of a bow. Like it can be a circular bow. I can have things in the middle of it towards the outside. So this is the way I like making bows. And the same thing with this. If you guys have any tips or tricks on making bows, please share those. I hate making bows. um, Most of the time I don't like how my bows come out, but for this one, it actually worked out in my favor. I'm pretty happy with this, but let me know what you guys think. And if you have any tips or tricks, please let me know, because every little bit helps. Thanks. And then just a couple little things extra that I went ahead and did. I had some of these little glitter spiders from the Dollar Tree that had that green glitter on them. I put some of those on the actual wording of Wicked. And then for my hanger, I just used the extra pipe cleaner from the bow. And also from Dollar General, they had these wonderful lights. They were $5, but they are also sound, like they go off with sound, or you can have them on steadily. And this just took this wreath, I think, above and beyond. I like it both ways. Right now I have it just steady on until trick or treat, and then when trick or treat comes, I'm going to go ahead and just have this thing just going off. Project number 2. So for this project, we're making a sign. I'm taking one of these come in for a spell signs, and I'm also going to be using some white chalk paint, and I am repurposing this like country decor moon, bat, and pumpkin that I got for $1 from the thrift shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint our sign white, and I'm going to hot glue these onto the sign, and we're just going to have a little saying that says Happy Halloween with some Dollar Tree stickers, which I will show you also. The stickers that I'll show you in a little bit, they didn't show up great on camera, but they're blue and they look like skeleton bones. They were hidden behind a whole bunch of other words, or not words, alphabet stickers. So I did have to hunt for them, but I did find them. But this is what I chose to do with this sign. I wasn't really sure. I know what I could have done differently. Instead of doing a sign, like maybe actually taking those 3 things and putting them on like a piece of board so that they stood up instead of laying them flat again. But I like this way. This is cute for now. If I ever want to maybe redo it, maybe I'll go ahead and do that idea. But this was just a quick, simple way to basically update a project and disregard all of the white paint I put on this for a sign. I had to put so much back into the bottle, but whichever. And then also to help this sign just to have a little bit more something, I just put some lines going down it so that it looks kind of like shiplap thrown together. And then I added some light distressing to this. The white paint was still slightly wet, so it was very nice to go ahead and like smudge all this in so that it looked kind of like distressed and antiqued, which is what I was going for. But here are the letters. See? Like you can't see them, but they do have like little skeleton bones in them for $1. They're wonderful. Hot gluing the items down. I didn't use any kind of wood glue or anything. I did just hot glue these down to the sign, and then the words I just wrote out Happy Halloween. So let me know what you guys think of this one too. This was just a quick little easy update of something that I got, and this was the first thing that honestly came to mind when I seen it was I'm going to make a sign with this. So if you guys would have done something different, definitely leave that in the comments below, because I'd love to know what you guys would have done differently. And so yeah, this was just a quick, cute, little easy to do. It's kind of I'm going to say it's kind of like a corny Halloween because it's not like spooky or scary. And I love both. I think it's very cute. The bat's kind of needs a better paint job, but I wasn't going to fix him yet. So, but this is what I chose to do with this. Let me know again what you guys think in the comments below. I had fun creating it. That's all that counts, right? And as long as you have fun. Just to add something too, the only thing I think I would have done differently on this is I put the Halloween like kind of going diagonal. I wish I would have done the same thing with like happy. I wish I would have done that like diagonal instead of just straight across. But again, let me know what you guys think. Like, should I have just put the happy diagonal? Does it look okay the way it is? I mean, it's the way it's hanging up, but would you have gone back and taken the happy back off and then restuck some new letters on? I think it still turned out cute, so I'm not too concerned with it, but that's just another little observation for y'all. Project number 3. Okay, so this is another quick and easy project. For this one, you need these metal words from the Dollar Tree, which have Beware, Haunted, and Spooky. You're also going to go ahead and need a piece of fabric. Now, I got this from the Dollar Tree too. However, mine only had this one, and I mean, this was the only one they had. And then you're going to want one of these embroidery hoops and a beauty blender from the Dollar Tree, some Waverly chalk paint in the color Antique Wax, and a green color. So the antique wax, I am just doing the outer hoop, and I'm adding that to the sides and to the main part of the hoop just to give it a little bit more color. I didn't like the original color with the main cloth being white. I wanted it to really have more of a contrast. So this is just what I chose to do. I guess you could also paint it just a color, but I wanted it to be able to be used for another project maybe in the future. So I didn't want to paint it something that would go against any other color schemes. So then we're going to take the word haunted from our words, and I'm going to put this green color all over it. So I do a quick light like base coat to the whole thing. And then once that dries down, then I go back in and I kind of just take the green and I smear it across the wording so that it kind of looks, well, not like, I mean, it looks pretty, but it doesn't look, I don't know the word I'm going for, guys, help me out here. It just looks like there's webbing strung across it almost. But all I'm going to do after, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm taking this hoop and I'm putting my cloth in it. I'm making sure that it's extra tight, and then I'm just cutting off the excess cloth. Now, I put this cloth in there as close to the very top of the hoop as I could, so this way here I have extra cloth that I could possibly do something else with in the future. I don't know what yet, but you know, in the future. So the word haunted, I'm going to put down at the bottom. And then I found this awesome ribbon at the Dollar Tree too, which has jack-o'-lanterns with witches hats on them. Like, what? Totally love this. And I was not using all this on this project. So I did a tiny little bow. Same thing. I went ahead and just folded it over on itself. I did 6 loops. So that way there you've got, well, obviously 6 loop bow. and then just fluffing it up, and the black, I think maybe I used purple on the pipe cleaner on this one, but that's also going to be my hanger too, so keeping excess. But that is covering up that hoop hole, the embroidery hoop. What the heck is that stupid thing called? Like, my mind is going blank, guys. Seriously. Anyway, so it's just covering up the top of the hoop, and then for the word haunted, I'm gluing it down to the cloth, and then I put some hot glue on the back, only because for some reason with these darn metal words, the hot glue like instantly dries. Like, it dries the fastest on anything. It's ridiculous. So here's what I have so far, and I thought, I need something else. So I took these little wooden bats and pumpkins and ghosts that they had this year also, and instead of painting them, I just took the brown Waverly chalk paint, and I just made these the same color as the embroidery hoop, put a little bit of hot glue on them, and stuck them down just to the outside, and just to give it a little bit of extra something. But I didn't want to cover up the cloth because I absolutely loved this cloth. So let me know what you guys think of this final project also. Is there anything that you guys would have done differently? Is there anything that maybe you would have added more to it? I don't know. Just let me know. Here are my 3 finished DIYs. So I really enjoyed making these for you guys. I just have them in this view, just sitting on a table, but they are hanging on my wall. And the wreath is hanging on my front door, which was kind of hard to try to show you guys with it hanging on the front door. So that's why I just kind of hung it off of my shelf for viewing purposes. I hope you guys really enjoyed these 3 kind of simple DIYs. The wreath isn't really simple, but it is easy enough to make that I think anybody could do it. But if you like these, go ahead and give my thumbs up. If you're not subscribed and you happen to like the items that I make, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future uploads, because there will be some more. So stay tuned for next Friday. I have some new DIYs coming at you, and I will see you all then. Be safe and see you on Friday. Bye.